The concept of using NLP in dating has been widely spread over the internet over the past probably 30-40 years, and usually it turns around two main ideas. Either some guys are trying to find some sneaky phrases to hypnotize women into bed, or at least they think, or it could be the road of the inner game, the idea of growing your self-confidence, becoming much more assertive into who you are, and having much more ease to walk up to a woman and say whatever you want to say spontaneously without having to overthink it. Both of those areas have interesting things to learn from. I will just here share my experience after 10 years into NLP, dating ideas, strategies, and say what I think is complete BS to some extent. The idea of hypnotizing women into bed. It is usually the big thing, the mind control and all that stuff. Okay, I have tried, I think, about everything you can think of when it has tried to hypnosis. Not specifically with women or dating, but in general. Like whatever you have in mind, I have probably attempted something similar in my life. What I can say, after all those years, is that the whole thing about hypnotize girls into bed or like the secret language patterns to get them, it is exactly like this guy in Dubai who will show you a yacht and tell you, oh, if you buy my course right now before tomorrow because it is a discount of 24 hours, you can get rich in 2 weeks with this new secret crypto system. This is the same thing, okay? Those guys are marketers, they are selling you the most outrageous, outlandish idea, and it is usually centering on desperate people who think there is a secret hack, whether it is about money, women, anything, health, lose weight in 30 days, even if you're overweight and never worked out in your life. Oh yeah, but I have this 30 days diet program. If you buy it, yeah, you're gonna lose weight. It is the same thing, okay? It's always a big marketing bubble to make you believe abnormal results can be reached without making that much efforts. Does it help to know covert hypnosis and how to hypnotize somebody? Does it help in dating or when I am with a girl? Of course it does help. I'm not gonna lie, it does help. Now, what I'm saying is even if it does help, it is a tool. Nothing more than a tool. It is a tool that can be used to accelerate the state of horniness, to make her hornier. It is possible, but just because you have that, let's say I teach that to you, just because you have that, you really think it's going to be enough by itself to attract all the women you want and more specifically having that one girlfriend, that one serious relationship that will be really interesting for the rest of your life? Definitely not. It is just a tool, that's all. If you don't work on yourself, if you don't develop your life in general, any woman who enters it will be like, yeah, well, I don't really want to stay with that guy anyway. So it is interesting to learn, but it's like playing guitar. Will it attract attention? Of course it will. But just that alone, does it mean you will get all the women you want? Absolutely not. It is just a tool. So if you are fascinated and passionate about hypnosis, how it works, go for it, study it. If you are passionate about magic, go for it, study magic tricks. But trying to learn magic tricks or hypnosis just because you want to get a girl in your bed, honestly, don't bother, because it's going to be a lot of time to learn many techniques to figure out, to test, because anything you test in the beginning, it does not work. So it's going to be a lot of time before you can get actual results. So better go to the simple road if you're not passionate about those areas specifically, hypnosis, NLP, all that stuff. Just work on yourself, that will be more than enough. Now, the other idea, the idea of inner game, growing your self-confidence, becoming more assertive even before you open your mouth, that is the one that really made a difference in my life when it comes to dating and women, for sure. And that is the one I would advise more to center your attention on. We could talk for hours about all the tricks, about visualizing, about this, about affirmations. I'm gonna summarize 10 years for you right here. When it comes to relationships, dating, seduction, pickup artists, all that stuff, the only one internal area technique that is really going to make 80% of the difference is to get the hell rid of your fear of rejection. That is the only one that is really going to make a a spike, a massive spike of difference in your dating situation, in your relationships, everything. Fear of rejection is what happens to everybody, every guy when they want to approach. So the main method I use personally to completely get rid of all my fear of rejections and fear of abandonment and being so stressed about what is she gonna say is about identifying first the main pictures you make in your mind when you are about to approach somebody, or when you see somebody that you find attractive and you think, or like, should I say hello? What should I do? Should I wait? When you are into those moments, just catch the pictures you make in your head, because most likely there are going to be pictures of her rejecting you even before it happens. So you are actually preconditioning yourself to be rejected, because when you fire those images even unconsciously in your mind just before going in, guess what? Your nonverbal, your behavior, your voice tonality, everything is going to match what is happening in there. So conditioning yourself the right way before going to approach somebody is going to make the most of the difference. And once you do that, you won't need to remember phrases, to say this, to say, oh, I should think about this and about that. You won't need all of that, because you will be much more present, and a lot of the nonverbal communication will already be handled because you have done the work beforehand. So you pinpoint when you are about to approach, you pinpoint those negative pictures you make in your mind. One good thing is to reduce them, to shrink them, and to take a deep breath and imagine you push them away, far away from yourself. It is going to first confuse or create some kind of shift, or at least ease the sensation, the negative sensation of what's going to happen. And once you have done that, you can think about the kind of guy you think are really attractive from your definition, because maybe what you find attractive and what a girl finds attractive is not the same thing. You as a guy thinking about what she thinks may not be accurate at all. But let's say you have found somebody, a guy you can think about, that when he goes by in the street or whatever, all the women are like, oh, like this. Just get a guy like that you have in your mind. Now think about how do women react to that guy. And don't try to presuppose you know what it is about him specifically that get them attracted. Let's say you don't know, to just save time on that conversation. And just notice how do they react to him. Now you're going to picture exactly the woman you want to approach reacting in the exact same way than the ones who react to the Playboy guy or the Brad Pitt or whoever you thought about. And by you conditioning yourself to think about her reacting exactly like that to you, naturally your mind is going to fire up, your voice is going to adjust to that representation in your head. So you won't need to control your voice and be more masculine. You will just naturally have the voice tempo and the tonality that is matching that projection, that representation of how she's going to react. And even if that does not mean she will react like that all the time, at least it is going to set your mind in the right direction to get what you want. So I think this approach is much more useful than all the tricks to trick her into bed or whatever, because first of all, most of the time they don't work at all. If not every time they don't work, because it is not so much the techniques or what you say, it is much more the person saying them. And when the person saying them is completely aligned in his mind, in his body, his voice, when all of that is aligned on the clear outcome of and the clear decision that I know I am attractive and she's gonna feel it too, then you won't need really to use specific lines or specific phrases, because it will be natural. So you can learn much more about that. If you have some questions in the comments, I will answer them the best I can. And this is a long topic, but I will keep it short here. Just know that there is always a way to improve your situation, no matter what it is.